Okay, this presentation is for Group 6. We're going to be discussing the Ducati company, which is a motorcycle manufacturing company based out of Italy. We've spent time together as a group discussing the 3 questions that are going to be vital to this company for its current state of affairs and also its future success. So we'll just start with the first question. The first question was, what makes the motorcycling manufacturing industry so attractive when the small car industry is so unattractive? And we decided that one of the biggest things is that rivalry amongst the motorcycle manufacturing companies is quite low because each company seems to have a differentiated product. Ducati makes a very high-end, high-speed motorcycle, while you look at Harley, that has their classic style and classic body, and each of these companies have very loyal fan base. So the customers of these companies are very loyal to their companies, and the differentiated product keeps rivalry somewhat low. And when you look at the small car industry, there's so many different types, there's so many different prices on these different cars, so many different companies, and there's very low loyalty. The second reason is that buyer power is low because of that loyalty. When a company has this type of following and people love the Ducati name, the Ducati brand, they're going to be less likely to go out and find a motorcycle that's less money and go after it because they love Ducati and they love that brand and that type of motorcycle. And we see this in a lot of other companies out there, Apple, for example. People will just be willing to pay more money and stay with that device because they're loyal to the brand. We see that in the motorcycle manufacturing industry and not so much in the small car industry. That's why it's more attractive than the small car industry. Second question, why does Ducati operate at a competitive advantage, and why are buyers willing to pay such a premium for Ducati motorcycles? So this was answered in the previous question, but it's because people are loyal to the brand of Ducati. Their advantage comes from their reputation of being high-performance bikes, having distinctive engine, having high horsepower. Their bikes are very durable while maintaining that high quality and a very cutting-edge technical design. Also, Ducati's image is well reputed among other buyers. The style, the history, the uniqueness, and the fashion, the fashionable look to their bike. All of those things give Ducati that competitive advantage over others. And that leads to the final question, which is, why does Manoli want to enter the cruiser segment? Particularly go after the Harley design and the Harley Cruiser and make their own version of that. Should Ducati enter into cruisers? And our answer as to why Manoli would want to do that is he was afraid that long-term growth may suffer without coming up with something different. He's worried that if he doesn't get into that segment that they might lose out. The thought was that the growth that he had seen was unsustainable, and he wanted to be able to nip that in the bud and be able to compete with Harley-Davidson and roll out this Ducati interpretation of the cruiser. As a group, we talked about that, and we feel that it would be a bad business decision to stray away from what Ducati is and what they are. We don't think that they should do that. We feel that they could lose a sense of brand recognition and loyalty amongst their dedicated fan base. They could risk not only losing the money and time they put into research and development, but they could very well alienate the fan base that clearly has a different demographic with a different set of interests than does the Harley-Davidson fan base. They would also have an incredibly difficult time, just as Harley-Davidson would if they tried to penetrate the speed racing motorcycle market, which is Ducati, breaking into a market dominated by Harley-Davidson. We feel that their time and money is best spent trying to expand the branding of the product that got them this far. So essentially, we feel that they should stick with what they're good at, what they know, and what has got them so many dedicated, loyal customers in the beginning. We don't feel like they should try to go after that market there that love the Harley-Davidson cruisers. We should stick with the speed, high speed type of high performance customers that want that type of motorcycle and try to maximize in our profits therein.